All right, so describe the importance of the Spanish Armada being defeated by England in the late 1500s. How did England defeat the famed Spanish Armada? Okay, there you go. Nick, you got a current event Friday and Wharf on the Bell Ring. All right, so why did this war start? How did it start? What's the reasons for it? Go ahead, Chris.
Well, start with the Spanish king Douglas
Okay,
of
good.
England because he knew that England was a rival for English power at the time.
Good, good job. So for King Philip II, the King of Spain, he saw that England was rising as a power, a naval power. And we mentioned already with Henry VIII as king, Henry VIII, right? Yeah. We mentioned about how he was really ramping up the military, especially with the Navy, to try to expand the kingdom, right? And we already mentioned a little bit about why these countries are exploring. Okay, what are the reasons for the three G's? What are they again? Paul?
Gold,
God, gold, and glory. Yeah, good job. Good, good, good. So you can even think back to Henry VIII when it came to this rivalry already started, right? How did he break away from the church? How did he break away from the Catholic Church? How did he do so? A different way. Connor.
the act of supremacy.
Okay, the act of supremacy. Yep, good job. And he did so because of what? Why did he do it? Connor, go ahead.
He wanted to divorce his wife.
Yeah, good, good. And where was his wife from? Spain. Yeah, good, good. So the Pope, realizing this, he thought, well, this is only going to increase tensions between England and Spain. And yeah, you might argue and say that that's not the sole reason for why this started, but this is already creating tensions between the two countries. So eventually, okay, we already mentioned about Edward and Mary Tudor, Bloody Mary, how they will be monarchs, but then afterwards, Queen Elizabeth I will be the queen. And she will really start this age of exploration and this age of gold, this golden age for England. And with that, King Philip II of Spain, he realizes that England and a lot of these other European countries are starting to colonize and expand their exploration to the New World as well. So to try to prevent this, he thought the best way to do so is warfare. And England's that next dominant power in the seas. So he decides to ramp up his efforts, even help with the Pope, because remember, England broke away from the Catholic Church. And with the help of the Pope, he tries to create a large navy, an Armada, okay, and he calls it Spanish Armada. So he thought the best way to try to eliminate the competition is just open warfare. So even though Spain was probably the strongest power right around that time in the mid-1500s, okay, that still didn't account for all of the expenses of creating such a strong fleet, the Spanish Armada, with over 130 ships. And right around 30,000 men to try to conquer England. It was just almost impossible task to accomplish. And he does so by sending this fleet up around England to try to first encircle it, okay, try to cut it off from many of the resources and materials coming in and out. Right? How did England win this conflict? Go ahead, Parker.
Basically set a few of their ships on fire and
All right, yeah. So that was one of the techniques, I guess you could say, that was kind of unheard of at the time. A lot of the English, with Sir Francis Drake, he decided to set a lot of these ships on fire and just sail right into these larger ships in the Spanish Armada. And in a way, it's kind of like a kamikaze ship, right? Just sailing right into these larger ships and just taking them down, even before they could get out in the open water. Good. Alice, Paul.
So they had smaller ships, which meant they were easier to maneuver. So it's harder for larger ships to take them down, and they also would like fire upon them from their coast.
Yeah, good job. Good job. So with these smaller ships, and if they have more numbers of them, they're a little bit more maneuverable. They can target these larger ships and evade any type of their fire or any type of their offensive or attacks. So they could target these larger ships, maneuver out in the water, and quickly get away or escape. So these quick strikes, escape, come back, and do the exact same thing. Okay, these targets are large, obviously, with these huge Spanish ships. So for England, these smaller ships, these more maneuverable ships, was for their advantage. Okay, why else? Why else? I don't know if I mentioned this yesterday, but with England, it's what? What is England? Awesome. An island. Yep, good job. So it already has its defenses already established. Right? So they have a body of water surrounding it on all sides. So if you want to get to England, if you want to attack England, you have to first travel across the English Channel or attack it through, obviously, the ocean, which is almost impossible to do. Okay, we'll talk when we get to World War II, okay, 400 years later, right around. Okay, this is still almost impossible for the technology of that time to just go over and attack England, take it over. Okay, the English Channel is treacherous, especially with storms, which actually occurred during this attack with Spain and England during the late 1500s. These storms came in and wrecked a lot of the Spanish Armada's fleet. So yeah, just weather alone, Mother Nature alone protects England from a lot of these attacks from other outside forces. So what happened here? Who won this conflict? Paul, England. Yeah, good job. And this is going to establish their colonies later in what we know as modern day United States. So establishing the 13 colonies. And this will propel England to be the #1 power and the naval power in the world at the time. This will last all the way up until World War II. Okay, after World War II, we know that the United States Navy rises to the #1 power when it comes to open seas. But for 300-400 years, England has dominated the seas. And it all starts with Spain's defeat here, obviously, with this war between Spain and England. All right, is there any questions here about the Spanish Armada? All right, okay. I was going to show you a video, but I think we'll just jump right into the review. Does that work? Yeah? Okay. All right. So let me host the game here for you guys. Reminder test is tomorrow. You need your iPad.